Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to F1's Lift the Lid. My name's Callum, and I'm driving my motorbike home from work right now. Today, there's not much going on in the world of Formula One. There hasn't been hardly any breaking stories, which is amazing considering we've every single week we seem to be having all sorts of drama. The season is coming to a close. Only a few more races left to go. We've already got Max Verstappen as the F1 World Champion for this season. There's been a bit of controversy around that. We were supposed to have some really big news about on Monday about the cost cap and Red Bull getting into all sorts of trouble, and it looked like Aston Martin might have been in a bit of trouble, but nothing seems to really be happening right now. We've been told that Red Bull have been confirmed as going over the budget cap limit, but it wasn't more than 5%, which is considered a larger breach. However, considering that the cost cap is 140 odd million, something like that, in the year, 5% over is still a fair few million. So it's going to be quite a big leap, even if it is just a million or two over. I'm sure the other teams, particularly Mercedes, will have something to say about that, because obviously if they had spent that extra money last year, potentially they would have run away with the championship. So it is quite a big deal, and I'm surprised that the FIA didn't come out with anything on Monday really to actually say what was happening. But we're still waiting to see if it's just going to be a little slap on the wrist for Red Bull, or if it's going to be something a little bit more severe. I personally really do think they should be a little bit more severe, because if you're letting teams get away with it in the first year, and it happens to be the team that won the championship, or at least the Drivers' Championship, it just shows a negative on the sport. And I think with there being a price cap, it should be capped at that. So if a team does go over it, even if it's only by a few £100 or a few £1,000, it needs to be addressed, and they need to have some kind of severe consequences for it, because that team has gained an advantage in having that happen. So we're still waiting on the FIA to hear what kind of punishment they're going to be giving out, and that's probably the biggest story right now. Obviously, we're waiting on for next week now for F1 to go to Austin, Texas, in America, which is again one of the more fun attractions now of the year for this type of track. There has an awful lot of fans going. They've been selling out, I believe, last year, and people who have gone along to it have really said it's been a great track to be able to go to. They have concerts right in the middle there as well. It's in a good location. You've got the towns nearby. There's plenty to do. So a lot of the fans have been raving about it, and it's still a good race usually in Austin. Obviously, Max has already won the championship, but there's still plenty more going on in the midfield, or even just below them for second, third place. You've still got Charles Leclerc in second. However, we've got Sergio Perez, I believe, in second at the minute, but Charles Leclerc just behind. We're still those kind of usual top contenders, the top three, with the Mercedes drivers, Ferrari and Red Bull, but you do have McLaren and Alpine kind of hot on their heels. At the moment, Norris is still best of the rest in seventh place. However, Alpine are actually ahead of McLaren at the moment, not by a whole lot. I believe it's only by about 13, 14 points. So that's going to be a real close battle to the end for that fourth place in the Constructors, which makes a big difference in the kind of amount of money that or wind tunnel time, I believe it is now, that the teams get. So it can make a big difference to the teams. So it's still definitely something to watch. Coming up in COTA as well in Austin, Texas, they have two I believe it's for several of the teams, but I particularly know McLaren are going to be having Pato O'Ward driving for them, and there's another driver I'm forgetting the name of, who was I believe he won IndyCar last year, forgetting his name completely. But they're going to be testing 2 new guys in Formula One cars that they've never been. I believe they've been in Formula One cars, but they've never actually been on an FP1 or FP2 session before. So it'll be first taste in this particular car, and it's good to see the teams actually finally getting some of these newer drivers in. There's not been much of that going on this season. I think really so that their existing drivers have been able to get kind of used to these cars and get as much practice in them as possible at the tracks, as they're obviously completely brand new to it. So yeah, not too much else going on, I believe, this week, but we'll stay tuned, and obviously I'll make some other new videos as soon as more news comes out. Otherwise, we're going to be waiting over this next week to go to Austin, Texas. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Like, share, and follow this page. I'll speak to you soon. Thanks very much.